Hey guys, it's me, 8754. Today, guys, I want to do a different video on my channel, and this is something that I've been looking at. I've been wanting to talk about the leagues for so long now, and this is a chance that I decided to think about. And I was like, you know what? Let's do this type of thing, guys. So what we're gonna be doing in this video is that we're gonna basically be discussing about four teams in the top five leagues that are at jeopardy of missing out in the UEFA Champions League. We're gonna look at each team by case, and then at the end of this video I'll be giving you guys my percentage of which team may or may not make the Champions League. So let's start with the one and only FC Barcelona. And yeah, if you're new around here, I recommend you subscribe button down below. I do cover a lot of football content here on the channel, and of course there's a channel preview dedicated for you, in which if you're not really sure what the channel is really about, that channel goes more into depth with the nitty gritty and all the good stuff. So that place is for you. So if you do enjoy this, subscribe, of course, like this video as well, comment down below your thoughts, and let's go and get started with this video. So let's start with FC Barcelona. Now, FC Barcelona is a very interesting position because right now FC Barcelona find themselves to be sixth in the league. Now, granted, the league is still pretty competitive, and like I said, they're only 1 point away from top four. Now, I will say this right now: Barcelona have a very rough February month coming up because we look at the fixtures that Barcelona have. Let's just disregard the Super Cup and the Copa del Rey. Just disregard those because those are not important for the league. Alaves away. That's a game that Barca simply have to win. This February month is brutal, guys. Atletico Madrid, Espanyol, Valencia, Athletic Club. And you know what, guys? You know what? Let's go ahead and try to predict what Barca will do in these next couple of games. These are my early predictions. So when I do my actual match previews, I could change my mind, but these are how I'm feeling right now. And let's do some early predictions. Let's do some math here. Let's make things a bit more interesting. So, Alaves away. I believe Barcelona should win this match. They're 18th place, so yeah, I think Barcelona will win that match. Atletico Madrid, I'm sensing a draw. I'm gonna say a draw. So let me get my notebook here. Just write down the points I think Barcelona can get. So I'm gonna say Alaves a win. Atletico Madrid a draw. Espanyol on the road. This is a tough one, especially away. We saw how difficult it was in reverse fixture. I'm inclined to say a draw. Then Valencia away. I think we beat Valencia. I think we beat Valencia away. I know Valencia have been causing us issues, the Mestalla and everything like that, but this Valencia team is not that great. It's probably one of the weakest Valencia teams we've seen in recent years. Athletic Club at home, I think we'll win that one because it's home. Elche on the road, win. Osasuna at home, win. Real Madrid away, nothing. We're not winning that match. We're losing that match. Sevilla, I'm inclined. I want to say us a win because of where I camp now, but I'm also thinking maybe a draw. I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a tough call. I'll say this. I'll say this. I think this is gonna be. You know what? I'm gonna say a draw. I'll play it safe, guys. I'm gonna play it safe. Levante away, a win. We are gonna beat Levante, I think. Cadiz at home. That's gonna be a win. Real Sociedad away at the Anoeta. Now that's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna say we draw that. Mallorca at home, win that. Real Betis away, I think we get revenge. Celta at home, I think we win that. Getafe, I think we win. And I think that Villarreal game at home, we're going to win. So there's one other game that I haven't talked about, which is the Rayo Vallecano game, which I also think we're going to win. So let's go and do some math here. So I predict us to get 4, 4, 8, 11, 14. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. So 3 times 5 is 15 plus 7. So 17 points, okay? 18, 21. Actually, let me just do it this way. 14. And then 12. 17 plus 14 plus 12. Now remember, guys, Barca are going to need around like 60 to 70 points, which will be enough. So if my math serves me right, that'll be 17 plus 26, which would be 43 points, actually. And right now, how many points we're at? Barcelona's at right now 32. So 32 plus 43 would be 75. Now I'm telling you this right now, guys. Even though I'm predicting this, that would be enough for a top four. So, like I said, guys, the general consensus is that Barcelona played really well. It's just they've had too many draws. They've had way too many draws, and the draws we've been having has been really bad. A lot of draws that we shouldn't have drawn to. And if we could just convert some of the draws into victories, I think that'll be enough. So 75 points is as of right now, as I'm feeling today, guys. And if the season were to end today, I think we play all those remaining matches. I think we're getting 75 points. So I know it's a bit of a bold claim, and I know that's probably unrealistic. We're probably going to get around like 65, I'm reckoning. I don't think we're going to win. Like some of those games, I think we're probably just going to win just because we're playing at home. Maybe I was a bit biased there. But the point being is that I think we could still get top four, guys. Because like I said, guys, last in the first half of the season, we got 20 31 points, right? Because I'm taking the first 19 games. So if you could just double that, which would be 62, right? So, but like I said, we need to be a bit better in the second half because we know how teams like Rayo Vallecano are coming close to us, Real Sociedad are close to us, Villarreal are in contention. You could even put Athletic Club in contention, Valencia's in contention. I think I and even Real Betis are in contention. So the four teams I think will be battling out for that top four spot would be Real Betis, Real Sociedad, Rayo Vallecano, and Villarreal. Actually, take Rayo Vallecano off. I think they're gonna go in it. I don't think they're gonna start losing a lot more games. Put Valencia in there. Those four teams, maybe five, maybe we could put Rayo Vallecano. Those five teams we could battling out for that top four spot, and I think that we're gonna ultimately get fourth. It's gonna be fourth or third, guys. So my general consensus is that we just have to be more clinical in the final third, and if we could do that, then I think we're getting top four. Okay. So like I said, on a scale 1 to 10, for Barcelona to get top four, I'm fairly confident. I'm going to say a 7. 70% confident, guys, that we're going to get top four. Let's move on to the next league here. Let's do this one next. Manchester United. Now, this is interesting, guys. Manchester United, let's see where they're at in the league table. Right now, Manchester United find themselves to be 7th in the league table, having played half of the matches, 31 points from 19 games. And you guys can see already they've actually had more losses than Barcelona this season in the league, which is quite crazy, you know. And that's very interesting is that their goal difference is only a +3 goal difference. So let's go ahead and look at assess United. Obviously, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it was not very good. A lot of the wins United have had this season were very unconvincing. There wasn't many wins that you could wholeheartedly say they really deserved 3 points. I remember the game against West Ham. You could argue they were fortuitous. They won that match. They were somewhat lucky to win that match because obviously, they got their penalty saved and obviously Lingard scored very close to end. And I do think that United probably did deserve to win, but then against Norwich, there's so many other games I could think about and just tell you. And that David De Gea has having to put a masterclass here. He's been United's best player this season. He has honestly saved them in the Premier League and in the Champions League. And Ronaldo, for me, in the Premier League, has just not been that great. He's been good. I'm not going to say he's been bad, but he's been a bit underwhelming considering how good he was for United in the Champions League. So let's go ahead and look at United's remaining fixtures, and let's really analyze here and really, give some predictions, okay? So the game Aston Villa on the road. Now, they did just beat Aston Villa today, earlier in the FA Cup, which is interesting. They put out a pretty strong lineup. They had David De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Rashford, Fernandes, Cavani, Greenwood, and it was a pretty strong Aston Villa in that team. Now, remember, they'll have Coutinho over the weekend, and remember, Ronaldo will play. United are looking for revenge because obviously we know Villa beat them in the reverse fixture at Old Trafford. So can United get revenge? This is a tough call to make. It's a very tough call to make. What are the odds saying here? That United is favored to win this match. I'm going to say United draws this match. I think Aston Villa, for me, they have been pretty good under Steven Gerrard, and I've been really impressed with them. So I'm going to say they actually draw this match, and I'm going to say 1-1 draw. So that's going to be a point for United. Okay? And then let's move on to the next fixture. They have Brentford away. Now, this is interesting. I think they should win this match. Brentford on the road, they should win this match. Okay? So, West Ham at home, that's a tough one to call. It's kind of difficult to call that one because I think West Ham, for me, on their day, can be very, very good. but at the same time cannot be very good. And we've seen under Ralph Ragnick that the performances haven't been that great. And this 4-2-2 formation, I just don't know if it's going to really work, guys. I really don't know. And if you look against better quality teams, you're going to get fined about. So you know what, guys? I'm going to say they draw against West Ham at home. I'm going to say they actually draw that game as well. So that we 5 points in the month of January, which is kind of poor, but it's fine, I guess, right? Then February, they got some pretty easy fixtures. Burnley on the road at Turf Moor, they got to win that. Southampton, they should win that. It's at home. Leeds on the road. Now, Leeds could be tricky, but I think they should still be able to beat Leeds. Leeds haven't been that great this season. Then they got Watford. They're going to want to get revenge. I think they're going to beat Watford, guys. And then here comes a brutal month for United. They have the March month. This is the month where United will... this might seem crazy to say this. They may not even get a single point in the month of March. I don't think they're beating City in the Manchester Derby. I think they could maybe... you know what? I think they could beat Tottenham. I think they could beat Tottenham, guys. And Liverpool, they're not going to win that. 2 L's right there. Leicester City at home, they would want to get revenge. I think they should be able to beat Leicester this time around. And the Everton on the road, Goodison Park, that's a really interesting fixture. I'm going to say they actually draw that match. Norwich City at home, I reckon they win that match. Arsenal away, the Emirates Stadium, I think they're going to draw that match. Brentford at home, I think they should win that. And then you got Brighton, they should win that. Actually, Brighton on the road, that's a tough call to make. You know what? I still think they should win, though. I think they should still win that. Chelsea at home, I'm going to say that's a draw. And then Crystal Palace on the road, I think that's going to be a win. So let me see how many games United. So I think there's one more game that United didn't play. It's right here in this fixture. So hold up. I think this might be it, actually. Hold up. I think all the games... Oh, no. They have a... Wait, let me see their standings. Where the heck? I get standings. Where the heck is this? Come on. Load with me here. So, standings. Oh, they do have a... Okay. Okay, they have 2 games in hand. So, Brentford, I believe, is one of the games in hand. What about the other game in hand they have? That's not been confirmed yet, guys. It's not been confirmed, so we don't know, actually, guys. We don't know. What about... let me see here. Match day 2019. Okay, 18. Yeah, they're going to play match day 18. Who did they play against? I forgot. I think it was that Brighton game. Oh, yeah, Brighton. Then they have Brighton at home. That's the game that they need to play. Then I think all the games will be caught up. Yeah, Brighton at home. I think they should still win that. So let's go ahead and look at the points. Now, let's look at last season in particular. Let me show you guys for context to how many points it took for last season. Why is this? Do Premier League. Show the Premier League. Okay, there we go. So last season, as you guys can see, Chelsea got 67, which was enough for a top 4 finish. So, like I said, they're gonna probably need around like similar in this ball range for what Barcelona needs. And I think United could miss out a Champions League, and I think Ronaldo in particular needs to really, really take advantage of that February month in particular. That's a very much easy month. So let's go and do the math here. So 4 points here, 4 points, 6, 3, 4, 4, 6, 4, and then 3. Okay, so let's do 8, 9, 7, 10, 7. Okay, so 17, and oh wait, I already counted that. So 7. So 17 plus 7 plus 7. So that's going to equate to, I want to say that's 17 plus 24, right? So 17 plus 24, that's 41 points. So 41 points United need. So let's go look at this season, how many points they have. United have 31. So 31 plus 42, which would be 72 points. Yeah, that should be enough for a top 4 finish. That should be enough for a top 4 finish. Because like I said before, guys, let's look at the other teams that are nearby them, right? We got Tottenham, West Ham, and Arsenal. Let me make a case for all 3 of these teams. Wolves, you can also put in the contention, but I think Wolves, they're not going to get top 4, guys. It's hard to say. And I think Brighton, and yeah, it's really those 3 teams. Let's start with Arsenal. Arsenal looking really solid. I've been really, really impressed with Arsenal. But here's my issue with Arsenal. They can't beat the big teams. And that, I think, could ultimately cost them in the end. And that had they been able to beat the big teams, I really would have fancied their chances. And I think that game versus them at United at Old Trafford where they lost that match, I think could be the difference of why they don't make Champions League. Because I'm saying this right now, guys. I think Arsenal's getting fifth, guys. Arsenal, they're gonna get fifth. Tottenham, Tottenham's a weird team to analyze. They're a bit inconsistent. They don't really tend to play that. They sometimes can do well, sometimes they don't do well. And Tottenham is just in particular such a weird team to engage, and I don't think they're going to be consistent enough. And so, hence the reason why I don't think Tottenham are going to make it. And as far as West Ham, I feel like they're going to put all their focus mainly on the Europa League, which I think they have a much better chance to win the Europa League than getting top four here. Because, like I said, they're already in the round of 16. They don't need you to play the knockout tie, and they're just let's do some math. So round of 16, got 2 games there. Quarterfinals, 2 games. They're literally 6 games away from a final. And I think with the way they've been playing, I think they could really go for it in the Europa League. So I think for West Ham, top four is doable. I think they can do it. They have enough quality, but I just think that it's in their better interest to focus more on the top. It's in their better interest to to actually try to win the Europa League, because I just think that for me, this is gonna be too much of a task. Trying to get top four and Europa League, and I just feel like it's not realistic. So they're gonna have to sacrifice one or the other, and I just feel like in their interest, it's better to go for the Europa League simply because that's the first time they've ever been it, and as well as they can finally get a trophy under David Moyes. So we'll see what happens, man, with Manchester United, because like I said, guys, they haven't been convincing. Their performances haven't been convincing the league. I mean, you guys have seen right here, guys, in the month of December, they haven't really put out a great convincing win. I mean, the only convincing win you could say was against Burnley, and that's Burnley, for God's sake. Burnley's not that great of a team. So like I said, for United in particular, I just think that they need to improve upon this. They need to find that balance in midfield, because for me, this 4-2-2 formation, I just don't think it's a way to go, man. I just don't think it's a way to go, and I think these players need to be better. So you can't really necessarily blame Ralph Ragnick for this, because I do think he's doing the best that he can, and I think the players are just at fault. Because like I said, I think Maguire needs to improve. I think Rashford needs to improve. I think Ronaldo needs to improve as well. And just a lot of the players of this team need to step up, because it seems like to me only a few players of this team really give their 100%. Like Cavani and maybe David De Gea. Maybe you could even argue maybe Fred to some extent. I don't know. But the point being is that United just haven't been that great this season. So as far as United's chances to get top four, I think this season will be a lot difficult for them compared to the previous seasons. But I would still give United a pretty good chance, just because of the squad they have and just because they have that goal-scoring machine of Ronaldo, who we know is quite capable of scoring as many goals as he wants in a match. So for me, for Ronaldo in particular, I just think that United have a pretty solid chance with Ronaldo in the team. Now, if they didn't have Ronaldo in their team, I'd be very worried. I would be very, very worried if I was a Manchester United fan. And if you're a Manchester United fan watching this, let me know what you guys think, because like I said, guys, I just haven't been impressed with United most of the season. Most of the season, they've been putting out very mediocre performances and have been getting by with the results just because the quality they have faced is not that great. But when they have faced against quality that's amazing and that's actually genuinely class, they've generally struggled. So, yeah, for United, if I had to get them on a scale 1 to 10, I would say a 6. I would still give it a solid 6, maybe even a 7, to get top 4, just because, like I said before, guys, the other teams, Arsenal's not really that good against top teams. Tottenham is inconsistent. West Ham, on their day, can be very good, and on their day can be very bad. So there's that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Let's see how they do against Villa this weekend, and maybe if they put out a strong performance and get 3 points there, which they need to get, let's be real, then it can make a huge statement. So important game coming up for them this weekend. Anyways, let's move on to the next team we have here. Next team I have here, it is RB Leipzig. Now, Leipzig is also in a very interesting position, because like we look at the league table right here, guys, and they might be in the worst position of all 4 of these teams, guys. And we'll get to the last team in a bit. 25 points from 18 games. And you see how the gap is interesting, because right now, guys, let's just put it this way. They're mid-table. And for a club of this magnitude, and for the fact they already got 7 losses early on the season, just halfway through the season, is not very good. I mean, they played a little bit more than halfway, but the point being is that that's just not good, man. Leipzig just haven't been great, and I think they had to let go of Jesse Martin. It's interesting that all 4 of these teams, with the exception of one team in particular, have sacked their coaches this season. Obviously, we know with Barcelona, they sacked Koeman, brought in Xavi. Obviously, we know with United, they sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, brought in Ralf Ragnick, and obviously for Leipzig, they sacked Marsch, and they brought in Tetsko, I think is the guy's name. I think he's the manager. Let me go and double just check that real quick. I think he's the manager name. Actually, where's that? Lineups. Yeah, it's Domenico Tetsko. So, yeah, I think for Leipzig in particular, what's really been their issue this season, in my opinion, is not necessarily the goals. If anything, I think that's been good for them. It's just the defense in particular has just not been good. 23 goals conceded. That's not very good. And you're seeing how they've just it's really been tough for them, this season. And I just think that for me, you look at the games they have played this season, right? Let's go and look at their games they have played this season. And for Leipzig in particular, just haven't been consistent enough. Like I said, getting the win against Mainz is great, but losing at home to Arminia, come on. And Augsburg, these two games, Leipzig shouldn't be dropping points in. Okay? Then they lost against Union Berlin. They shouldn't have lost that game. Leverkusen, I could somewhat understand. Hoffenheim, I guess I can understand. But yeah, it's just Leipzig in particular just haven't been consistent enough. And against Freiburg, they just haven't been great. Then against Köln, then against Wolfsburg. I mean, Mainz as well. I mean, it's just this team in particular just haven't been consistent enough is the real problem here. And I just think that for Leipzig in particular, they have to do much better than this because you look at the table right now, top four, they're 5 points away, and that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, and they're still in this. Obviously, they're still in this. It's not like they're out of this. I mean, look at Wolfsburg in particular. Wolfsburg is definitely out of this. They're 10 points away. It's almost doomed for Wolfsburg. I mean, they've already recorded 10 losses this season. So let's go ahead and look at Leipzig's remaining fixtures and see if they can get any kind of points, and let's see how they can do. So against Stuttgart, this is a tough call to make. Let's see where Stuttgart are in. Let me see the reverse fixture for the two teams. So Leipzig versus Stuttgart. When was the last time they played? Last time that happened was... Where is that? Leipzig won 4-0. I think I remember that match. I think I remember Solazai did a really good performance that match. I think Leipzig should win that match. They should. I would imagine so. So Leipzig should win. Then they got the match against Wolfsburg in which they got to win. They got to win at home. Wolfsburg went horrible this season. Against Bayern away, they're not getting anything against Bayern. Köln, that's a tough call because I think Köln actually beat them in the reverse fixture, right? I think Köln did actually, right? Let me go check. I'm pretty sure. No, they actually drew. Köln and Leipzig tied. Leipzig are playing at home though, so maybe that could be the difference. This is a tough call to make, guys. I would say for Leipzig, I think that they could beat Köln, but I just don't think they could do back-to-back, guys. I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm not sure about this one. Maybe a draw. I'll say a draw. I'll play it safe. Then they got the Europa League tie against Sociedad, which is interesting. Then they got Hertha Berlin. That's going to be very tough for them. Away, I could see them maybe lose that match. I think they could lose that match. Bochum on the road, they got to win that. Freiburg, I think they're going to beat Freiburg. Actually, maybe a draw for that one. Okay, I'll say draw. Fort away, I think they're going to beat Fort. And the Eintracht Frankfurt at home. And they did a remarkable comeback against Eintracht Frankfurt in the last match day, actually, right? No, actually, my bad. That was Dortmund. I'm sorry. That was Dortmund, guys, not Leipzig. I think a draw. I'll say a draw. And then Dortmund away, that's a tough call. I'm going to say Dortmund wins that match. So, yeah, I'm going to say a loss for them for that match. And then Hoffenheim at home, I could maybe see a draw. And then Leverkusen away, I think they'll lose that match. And then Union Berlin at home, I think they should win that match. And then Gladbach away, that could be tough, but I still think they win. And then Augsburg at home, I think they win. And then Arminia Bielefeld, I think they win. So let's go ahead and look at their points. Remember, let's look at last season for reference. So last season, top four, it took around 60 points to get top four. 61. So they're going to need 60-plus points to get top four. That's basically where I'm assessing, which makes sense, in a grand scheme of things. That's kind of how it is for most teams in particular. Just getting 60 points should be enough for a top four finish. Let's go ahead and do some math here, guys. So I'm going to say 6. Actually, let me just do it this way. So 3, 12. So I'm going to say 6 here. 1, 3, 4, 1, 1. So 9. So 7. I'm going to say 7 there, 2. So 7 plus 7 plus 2 plus 12. Okay. 14 plus 7 is 21, 28. Ooh, that's not looking that great, guys. 14 plus, yeah, 28 points. And this season, Leipzig are on 25. Guys, I think we might have a shocker here. I think we might have a shocker. 25 plus 28, 53. Guys, I'm sorry to say, I don't think Leipzig are qualifying for the Champions League. I think they're going to fall short. And let me explain why as well. I think Leverkusen have been insane. They have been absolutely brilliant. I think Leverkusen will actually get top four. And I'm just looking at the other teams in particular. Like, Hoffenheim's been great. Freiburg as well. You know, Caen and Union Berlin. And the ninth, man, it's going to be difficult for them. I do think, though, they could submit for a Europa League position. Let me see. Oh, actually, dude. 53 points would be enough for a Europa Conference League berth. Actually, well, maybe a Europa League just because the fact that Dortmund or, they could win the... Man, that's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough for them. And they've already had 7 losses last season. And let's see how many losses they're on this season. They've already lost 7 games. Dude, it's going to be tough for your Leipzig in particular. They're going to have to put up a massive turnaround because, like I said before, guys, this kind of wishy-washy form they're on isn't good enough. And I think they could actually miss out on the Champions League. So, because, like I said, guys, I think Leverkusen is going to make it. And then I think between Hoffenheim and Freiburg, I give the edge to Hoffenheim. I think Hoffenheim will do it. So I could see, like, Leverkusen getting third, Hoffenheim getting fourth. But, yeah, man, this will be devastating for Leipzig in particular. Because I actually wanted them... I actually kind of like the way this club is structured. I like the youth players they have in the team. But, man, I just think that the first half of the season is going to maybe cost them a bit in here. But like I said, guys, this is only my prediction. So, oh, man. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next league. And finally, the last team we have here. So for Leipzig in particular, the chances for them to make Champions League, in my opinion, I would give them a 4. A 4 out of 10. Not a very good chance. Not very confident with this team. And finally, the last team we have, it is Juventus. Now, this is a big, interesting one because Juventus, they completed a massive, and I mean a massive comeback against Roma. They were 3-1 down. And the fact they managed to win that match is quite remarkable. Because let's just put this in context here. Had Roma won that match, or even got a draw, Roma would have been on 35, Juventus would have still stayed on 35. And here's the thing. Roma would still be 6. So in the grand scheme of things, the table would still stay the same, but the points would be different. Or even if it ended in a draw, Roma would have been 33, and Juventus would have been on 36. So now the gap has been 6 points. And I'm telling this right now, guys. I think Juventus, even though everyone's laughing at them, everyone's criticizing them, everything like that, Juve could still get Champions League. They're only 3 points away. And with that, it's going to be interesting. Now, they're definitely not winning the title. Forget the title. They're not winning the title. Let's get that out of the way. They ain't winning the Serie A. That's going to be a Milan team that's going to win it. Most likely Inter. Okay? Guys, Juve could actually get top 4. And in a strange scene of events, I think they could. Because let's look at the remaining games. Okay? Now, they have the Super Cup, which we're obviously not going to take it. We're not going to obviously look for the league. They have Udinese at home. Now, we look at the last match they played against Udinese. I believe they won that match, I want to say. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember now. I remember Ronaldo scored to the death, but it was ruled off for offside. Oh, I remember now, man. Do Juventus beat Udinese? Now, they're playing at home. Yeah, I think Juventus should win this match. Come on. Udinese, let's see where they're at. They're at 14th. So, yeah, Juventus should win this match. Okay, let's move on. Now, this is a big one. Milan versus Juventus. Now, let me see the last time the two teams played. I believe it ended in a draw, I want to say. Yep, it ended in a draw. And you know what? I'm going to also predict another draw for this one. I would love for Milan to do it and beat Juve. That would be a big statement to make, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. Let me see what the odds are saying for that match. I'm keen to see. Oh, wow. They actually favor Juventus slightly. Slight favorites. But yeah, I think that's a match that I see a draw. Verona at home. Come on. Juve should win that. Juve should win that match. Let's see where Verona are in the league table. Yeah, the 13th. They're going to win. They should win that. Atalanta on the road. Now, that's interesting because Juve, obviously, we all know Atalanta did beat them in the reverse fixture. I would love for Atalanta to do a league double, but it just seems a bit too unrealistic. So I'm going to say a draw. I'll play it safe, guys. A draw. Oh, actually, let me put the... Yeah, let me do this real quick. So the Verona they're going to beat, and I think Atalanta are going to draw away. Torino, Juve should win that. Right? Because I think the Juve, yeah, they won it. Oh, yeah, they just about won it. So, yeah, I'd say they beat Torino. Then Empoli on the road. I know Empoli beat them the reverse fixture, but I think they're going to get revenge. Spezia at home. Now, let me see what happened in the reverse fixture. I want to say Spezia, I want to say Juve won, right? Let me see. Yes, Juve won just about. You know what? I think Juve is going to do the league double. Sampdoria, I think Juve win that. Salentini, Juve should win that. And then against Inter Milan at home. Now, this might be interesting because we don't know what the context is going to be because Inter might have already wrapped up the league title by then. But assuming that Inter is still in it, I think Inter is going to win it. I think Inter is going to win. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say draw. I was going to say Inter win, but I'm going to play it safe and say a draw just because Juventus are at home. Cagliari away, Juve should win that. Right? Actually, let me see where Cagliari are. Actually, let me see what Cagliari Juve lost. I'm looking at a lot of the last matches just for reference, just to show you guys. So Cagliari and Juventus. When was the last time the two teams met? Oh, Verona actually beat Juve in the reverse fixture. Wow, that's interesting. Where's Cagliari? What the heck is Cagliari? Oh, Juve won that. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say Juve should win that then. Then Bologna at home. I think Juve should win. The Sassuolo away. I think they draw the match. Venezia at home. I think they win that. And the Genoa away. I think they win. And the Lazio at home. Now this is interesting because Lazio could still be in Lazio. It's kind of hard to predict because it really depends where Lazio are still at. If they're in contention for European spots, I think they'll go for it. In that case, I'll say a draw. I'm going to say a draw, guys. And Fiorentina on the road. Actually, Juve are home for that match. So, yeah, I'm going to still say draw. And then Fiorentina on the road, I think they're going to... I think Juve won against Fiorentina, right? Yeah, they won. So, maybe a win. Let's say a win there, guys. So let's go look at the top four last season to give you context. Because guys, remember, Juventus barely sneaked top four last season by a single point. 78 points. Wow, dude. Serie A last season was crazy. Dude, look at the top five. Look at the gap between 5th and 6th. I didn't even realize this, guys. It's a big gap, guys. That's a big stinking gap. Because that's interesting, guys. That's very, very interesting. A 9-point gap, guys. 9 points. That's pretty big. You look at Lazio and Roma as well. 6 points. Dang. So maybe Juve needs 80 points, guys. Juve's going to probably need 80 points to clinch this, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and do some math. Let's go ahead and see where they are right now. This season, they're obviously at 38. So 38 right now. Let's go. So I'm going to say 4, 6, 4, and 3. Now, keep in mind, guys, I got to tell you guys this something. Let's talk about Juve. I'll talk to you guys about trying to finish these points. So 20, 18, and 3. So 20 plus 18 plus 3. Wow. 41 points. We do the math here. 38 plus 31. 79 points. So it'd actually just be about the same as last season. Which would probably be enough, I would reckon. So it's going to be tough, close though. But let's talk about Juventus for a bit here. Juventus for me this season, they've actually been decent. They've actually been pretty decent in the last couple of games they have played. But the thing about Juve in particular is just the losses they have this season. 5 losses. Let's look at last season in particular. Last season they lost. Oh, not this season. What am I doing? They lost 6 games. The problem with Juve in particular is just that they're just not consistent enough. Games that they should be winning, they drew. You know, and with Chiesa out injured, because Chiesa is basically gone for the rest of the season. I heard today that he's basically gone for the rest of the season because he got a big injury in the last game against Roma in particular. I think Juve's defense is worrying. Juve's defense is worrying. I know they only conceded 21 goals. But you look at the games they have, I mean, Roma gave them a challenge. You know. Let's look at this right now. Sassuolo, Verona. Juve, just for me, it's been of a tough situation because I just feel like for me, they just haven't been that great. I mean, this 4-4-2 thing, in my opinion, just doesn't really work for this team. And this 4-4-1-1 it's seeming like a better, because I think this 4-4-2 for Juve just doesn't work. I really think this 4-4-2 for Juventus just doesn't work. And I think when they play the 4-3-3, they seemingly have done better. You know, and I just think that for me, I think Allegri has to change his approach here. And I think he has to understand that this Juventus team has been so reliant on Ronaldo that without Ronaldo, they don't have a true goal scorer. They're having to rely on Dybala, Chiesa, and Chiesa for me always steps up in the big matches. He always steps in the big matches, and that is for me very key. Is that Juve needs to win some of these big matches, or at least avoid defeat. Because with how competitive Serie A is, and with how close the other teams are around them, like Roma, Fiorentina, Lazio maybe. I don't think Torino is really in contention, And with Napoli kind of been wishy-washy in these couple of games, because let's be real, guys. I'm looking at Napoli's form. I know they're not part of the discussion, but look at Napoli in particular. Look at this. Look at December and January, for instance. They got to draw away to Sassuolo. And a game in which they were leading 2-0. Should have won that match. Then you look at the game against Atalanta at home. Okay, fair enough, they lost because they had so many injuries. How do they lose to Empoli at home? How do they lose to Spezia at home? These are two games that if Napoli had taken 3 points, they could have been on. Actually, they've only picked up 1 point from 3 games. They could have actually picked up 9 points because they should have. And that would have been huge. Because right now, they would have picked up 8 more points, and we do some math here. 51 points, that would have been crazy, man. Absolutely crazy, and there's no way. But because of Napoli going these kind of weird directions, and we know how Napoli tends to screw up things in the end, I give Juve a very good chance to make top 4. I think Juve could actually make top 4. And I think because of Napoli's tendencies and not kind of them underperforming in matches where they need to perform in, I think Juve can take advantage. And let's look at Napoli's fixtures for real quick for context here. So Napoli, they have Fiorentina away. Actually, that's in the Coppa del Rey. That's the Coppa Italia, not Coppa del Rey. Sorry, they have Bologna. Actually, that's at home. This month in particular, that month of February could be brutal for Napoli because they have Lazio, Milan, Barcelona, Inter. I mean, there's really no good game in that month other than the fact of maybe Cagliari and Venezia. Then March, oh man, March is gonna be tough. That March month could be tricky as well, and they got Spets on the final match day. So, for Napoli in particular, man, let's just see what happens because Juve, they're only 5 points behind, and Atalanta, they've also not been that consistent either. So, I'm telling you this right now, guys. I think Inter Milan, they're obviously getting top 4. We can make that clear. I think Napoli or Atalanta, one of them is gonna miss out. Not both. Both aren't going through, in my opinion. One is going to miss out, and mark my words, guys. And I know this might age really badly, and trust me, guys, I'm very well aware of that. But trust me, I don't think Napoli's. I think if I had to make my top 4, I'm going to say Inter gets first, Milan gets second, Atalanta gets third, and Juve is getting fourth. Yes, guys, I think Napoli is going to screw this up. I just have that feeling, and you know that month we were talking about in the February right there, I think Napoli could really struggle, and Juve can get back in the race. So for Juve in particular, man, if they don't finish in the top 4 this season, that'll be a big, big, crazy thing to witness. So I want you guys to comment down below which of the 4 teams you guys think could miss out on the Champions League. Barcelona, Leipzig, Manchester United, and Juventus. Because all 4 of these teams, as we're speaking, are all outside the top 4 at this very moment. So, yeah, it's very interesting. So I hope you guys are doing this video, guys. Make sure you guys Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my description below, my Twitter, Discord, and my email, my Twitch. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.